So for anal sac cleaning for the boys, the general rule that I follow is only clean it out if you see there's a reason to. For young males, there is the possibility that they're going to get hay, bedding, fur stuck in their bums, and you might need to help them clean that out. For older senior boys or pigs who aren't boys who aren't getting enough exercise, there is a possibility of them getting impacted and poop actually getting stuck in there. That's something for Kelvin. He's lightly impacted sometimes. It's mainly just his softer poops get clumped in there and I have to release them for him. Some boars can be completely impacted where you have to literally expel every single poop they have because they just get stuffed inside their anal sac. Their anal sac is quite deep. It's a sensitive area to touch. Inside are scent glands, so you're going to notice the boys open it up and wipe their bums across everything. It's absolutely natural for them to have a white waxy substance inside that is quite sticky and stinky. That's what's going to clump together when it touches hay and fur and kind of get like a piece of glue stuck in their bum sometimes, or you're going to find that on the fleece, like this waxy little ball of fur and hay clumped together that stinks. So what I personally find, since I use fleece, they open up their bums really wide, drag it across the fleece, and kind of clean out their own bums. Huckle, my furry pig, he's the only furry boar that I have at this moment. He sometimes has pieces of fur clumped together sticking out of his hind end, so all I simply do is just pull the fur gently out and it's done with. If you notice they had bedding or hay, like a bit of a bigger mess, use some coconut oil and a Q-tip and very gently and slowly stick it in there and kind of work it around. Do not go too deep and do it very gently. I highly recommend doing this after a bath where you've let their bums sit in warm water. That helps the skin around their opening open up easier, and also generally speaking, if you've warmed up that area, this waxy sticky substance inside is going to be more pliable and clean out easier. I wouldn't use anything else but coconut oil personally because that's safe for the piggies to ingest later, and since piggies are self-cleaners, we want to make sure anything we put on their body is safe for them to clean off later. Some people put boar cleaning into their regular schedules. I just personally do not find it is necessary because they absolutely hate it. So for Kelvin, maybe twice a week when it's his bath night, after he's had his bath and his bum is super warm and easy to open up, I will check to make sure there's no clumps of poop in there. Usually is. He's still able to poop his normal pellet poops. It's just the softer ones that he's supposed to ingest. If he's pooping while he's sleeping, they just kind of stack up in there, and I let them out easily. So if you had a boar that needed it done all the time to express all of his poops, please make sure that you soak his bum first to make it as comfortable as possible for him. So I'm going to show you also grease gland cleaning, and I'm just going to show you a couple lumps and bumps that some of the skinny pigs have. Furry pigs get lumps and bumps too. It's just super easy to see them on the skinny pigs. There's lots of different types of lumps that are no big deal. There's some fatty lumps, there's cyst type lumps that are totally enclosed, or there's cysts that actually are like an enlarged pore where waxy stuff can come out of. If you are unsure of any lumps or bumps, please go to your vet. I'm not telling you that just because your lump looks like the lump that my pig has that it's safe. You have to get those assessed by the vets. So luckily cysts aren't a problem unless they're growing large or they get infected, which is always a possibility. So if your pig has any cysts, keep an eye on them. Only touch them with clean hands and try not to mess with them. Some of my pigs who have the really large pore type cysts, they get quite full. So I do gently let some of the waxy stuff out of them on occasion. I do not try to mess with them unless they look like stuff's pushing out of them. So for grease gland cleaning, you just need some cold pressed coconut oil, a cloth. So here's where the grease gland is. All pigs have them. Some are overactive, but very few are. I find most of the time you don't even need to clean them. Just on skinny pigs, it's a bit more noticeable. And he has more oil up here on his skin, so what I've done is put coconut oil on there, and you just let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then you can gently wipe it off. And for a furry pig, you only really have to worry about their grease gland. If it's really clumpy by their fur there, just do the same thing, let coconut oil sit for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then you give them their full bath and just kind of focus a bit of extra shampoo on that area, and the coconut should have loosened all the grease glands, junky stuff up, and it should wash away. It's just natural for them to have that there. It's just if it gets really clumpy that you should worry about it. I don't have any pigs right now with overactive grease glands, so when we do bath time, it's not even something I'm focused on. Okay, so all you do is have a nice soft cloth. I put some coconut oil on the cloth, and he has the coconut oil on his skin, and you just gently rub it in and wipe it around. You want to be gentle because it does feel uncomfortable for them if you're pushing too hard, and if the skin's not coming off, like the dead skin here, the oily buildup, very well, put some more coconut oil and wait a little bit longer. Just gonna get a bit more on our cloth. So like his grease gland had basically nothing on it. I was just showing you where it's located. It's more this part right on his bum that's all patchy with dead skin cells. Good boy. Now I just need a bit more. You can see it's cleaning up. It's okay, bud. We're almost done. And if you can't get every little piece off, don't worry. You don't want to keep going over the same spot too crazy much. There we go. So there's some of the marks that you can see on the cloth. So here's Calvin. He's my skinny pig who's had the most lumps and bumps ever. He has more cysts here, right where his one was actually removed. There's a scar line along there. He had a huge one that was just growing and growing and actually was getting scratched open. So he had that removed, and not too much longer after it healed, sadly another one's in its place. He had a big cyst that was right here as well, and again we had that removed. He has, can you look over here? A cyst on the side of his cheek, and one of the really big pore type cysts on his neck. Yeah, there's the one on the side of his cheek. And he also has, just a sec, bud, a cyst right here. And he has one right there on his belly. So now all piggies can have cysts, and I'll just show you. He had, you're going to see a little mark. It looks like a bruise mark there. He had a really big cyst, in the skin of his penis. It was really large and he was starting to squeak when I would wash him down there with discomfort. So what I did was, after he had a bath and had soaked for a long time, squish that out, and it came out in a really big hard lump. It was like the size of a Tic Tac. It was disturbing, but he has lots of large pores in the skin around his penis that get just the white, waxy, cysty, dead skin cell type substance in them. He is my skinny pig, honestly, that has the most lumps and bumps ever. But they have all been vet checked and he is in the clear for everything being safe. It's just the 2 that he had removed. They were running a really big risk of being infected because they were getting scratched or bit open. Okay, I'll put you back, bud.